So now we're on to the level 4 problems, and we'll actually see that these are a little trickier, especially this first one we're going to look at. I'm just going to zoom in so we can see the whole problem. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to have to zoom in a little bigger because, yeah, that should be good. So we have a procedure or function f. We have a procedure g. They're a little bigger and more complex than our other problems. And then we're going to look down at what we want to evaluate below them. So we see here, unlike JavaScript, sometimes we put the functions at the bottom. All of these have the functions at the top. So I'm going to start out with 10, 2, f with arguments 10 and 2. So the first thing we do is we're going to store p in this variable value. And in this pseudocode, we don't have to initialize variables. It's more similar to Python in that way. Okay, so we can just kind of like bring up variables like the variable value or p or q as they happen, if we haven't noticed that yet. So now we have a repeat until loop. So we're going to keep going until value is less than q. So right now, value is definitely greater than q. And while we do that, we're going to keep decreasing value by q. So I'm just going to kind of write this in green. So value equals value minus q. So now value equals 8. Value equals 8 minus 2. So value equals 6. Remember, we're trying to get this value to be less than 2. So value equals 6 minus 2, which is 4. Value equals 4 minus 2, which is 2. So now it's equal to, but it's not less. So we have one more time. Okay, so now value, which is 0, is less than 2. So we are returning value. So we're returning 0 here. Okay, so that's the value of f with parameters or arguments 10 and 2. So let's do g function. Next, I'll try to kind of like write it down here. So we have g of 15, 20. So these are my p and q. And we have another repeat until loop, and we're going to continue with that. Actually, just up to there. You know, we'll do it in green so it matches the other one. Let me erase this part. We're going to do that until p is greater than or equal to q. Okay, so right now p is 15, q is 20. So we do have to go into this loop, right? P is less than q right now. So p is going to become p plus 1. So 15 plus 1 is 16. And q is going to become 20 minus 1, q minus 1, which is 19. So we're going to do that. That's our first time through. We have to go back into the loop again. So p equals 16 plus 1 is 17, and q equals 19 minus 1, which is 18. P is still greater or still less than q, so we have to go one more time, it looks like. So p equals 17 plus 1 is 18, and q equals 18 minus 1 is 17. So now p is greater than q, greater than or equal to, in this case greater. So now we're going into an if statement. Now, this is the first time we've seen like multiple returns in the same function. Basically, a return, if it's in the middle of a function, just ends the function when you get to the return. So that's fine to have a couple return values, and we might hit one first or the other one first. So if p equals q, that's not true, right? P and q are not equal to each other. We would return q. Else, this is the one we're going to go into, we're going to return q plus 0.5. So q is 17. 17 plus 0.5 is 17.5. Okay, so we're doing 0 minus 17.5. So we are returning negative 17.5 for that problem.